and everything fun is right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch that dial. Hello there, your number one sports show on radio, Sports Cruise, from 6 to 7 p.m. every weekday, only on 98.3 Mainland FM. Sports Cruise, 6 p.m. weekdays on 98.3 Mainland FM. The cruise never stops.
Give me freedom, give me fire, give me reason, take me on celebration.
Sport Cruise, 6 p.m. weekdays on 98.3 Mainland FM.
I am Tᴏᴜᴜ called the chairman for the Nigerian Rugby League Association.
Aḍɪɪryɪ, the joint captain of Nigerian National
Nigerian Rugby League.
You're listening to Sport Cruise on 98.3 FM. Don't touch that down.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
And right out of the gate, they can't get Kyle Kuzma at the rim. Oh, the crank by Turner. Bouncing off, tip doesn't go for Toppin. Leak out, Portis, swatted. Neesmith gets back with a rejection, but he's down. Halliburton spins it in, and the harm.
Cleveland watched Indiana in the second quarter shooting at an 80% clip, and they picked up where they left off. Siakam +1. A series of moves. Here's Brunson dashing the defense, taking it inside, lost the ball. Another turnover. Picks it up the other way. Halliburton to the hole.
Oh my goodness. After a timeout, they come out with a huge three.
It's Halliburton to Toppin.
This series was won and lost in game one by the Knicks.
Long shot, Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton has gone mad.
Jalen Williams pulls back short.
Mike, he's really struggling to shoot the ball in the series.
Steal by Halliburton. One man to beat behind the back. Now Toppin goes inside, lays it up. Obi Toppin. The Pacers dream of their first NBA title very much alive. They're 2 wins away from a championship.
Sport Cruise, 6 p.m. weekdays on 98.3 Mainland FM. The cruise never stops.
We all say when I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. Your folks might understand you by and by. Just move on.
All right, guys. Yes, the Indiana Pacers won their first finals game in Indiana for the first time in over 25 years, and of course, they currently take a 2-1 lead heading into game 4. Talking about other games as well, other sports. We had Matthew Cunha completing a dream 62.5 million Manchester United move, and the question is, where does he fit in that squad for Manchester United? For Kevin De Bruyne as well, he has now completed his move to Napoli from Manchester City, and then Alexander-Arnold recently been unveiled by Real Madrid.
There's only one kind. So hush not, child, and don't cry.
manager of the Poland national team, talking about Michael Probers, has now, officially resigned his role as the head coach, of the Polish national team. And the question is just, are the players responsible? Do the players hold more power than the managers themselves? And in golf as well, when it comes to the US Open, the ongoing US Open, we have the likes of Scottish Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Brian DeChambeau, all chasing a major victory at Oakmont. I would also talk about transfer stories on the show, and maybe if we have time, as ahead of the Club World Cup commencing on Saturday, we'll be asking or answering the question, which is, would the Club World Cup winner be known, or would the winner be crowned as the best team in the world? Really, welcome to the Thursday edition of Sports Cruise, live from the 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. And my name is Aď Tᴏᴜᴛ, otherwise known as Agotom. And of course, every day from Monday down to Friday, Aᴅᴇᴛᴏ help you to have a wonderful evening from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for a lot of people that might partially for sport lovers. Welcome to the show. Okoyemi, good evening to you. And by the way, happy Democracy Day to you.
You did not see what I'm showing you.
What's that? Oh, no Allah.
At least, Nᴏᴜ launched a new phone recently.
Yeah? And he has not celebrated it.
So I'm launching a new phone pouch.
True.
We small.
And now our guy be the
small. Sometimes
you upgrade.
Sometimes you can wake up today. So maybe you want to buy a car. You pay for the tire.
You
pay for the steering.
Or you want to buy a bike.
Small. Okay. Well, amazing time to be on radio. Happy Democracy Day celebration to everyone, especially those people that have, weathered the storm when it comes to sports in this country, especially those that have brought us glory as well. We celebrate you guys. I looked at the honors list from the president today, and I'm not sure if I saw any significant sport personality getting honored. But then the president said it's for the heroes and the heroines of democracy. So let's also leave it at that. But excuse me. But more than anything else, it's an holiday, so Nigerians are home, but we're here. I think this should be about the third off day we've had in the last
2 weeks.
Less than a week. No.
Yeah.
Last week Friday was public holiday.
Yeah, Friday.
Monday was public holiday.
That's true.
Thursday we're having public holiday again.
That makes it
so I took it upon myself a couple of years back to check how much Nigeria loses every single day we go on public holidays. Billions of naira. Literally short that gets you're on your own. So, but then it's almost like this entire week. Yesterday I was starving in the office, and I called where we used to buy food. They said they are closed for the week. I said even Mama Put is doing 1 week break.
There's a place that we go to. That one she never closes.
No.
She free PR.
Well, it's a solid one. But hey, I saw the resignation of the Polish manager coming. They always tell you that the players' power.
Yeah.
Let me give you a few instances where we've seen this kind of thing. Exciting. One of the most exciting managers in world football.
As a den.
Dominance in Porto. Took them to the Portuguese league, the Portuguese Cup, of course, because of the success that Mourinho brought to Porto. It was almost like
Sinono was
coming as well.
To Chelsea and do the same thing.
The Portuguese connection. That time, Chelsea had about 8 national team captains in their starting 11. There was Didier Drogba from Ivory Coast. There was ᴏᴜᴜ from Ghana. There was Michel Ballack from Germany. There was Peter Cech from Czech Republic. Mikel from Nigeria.
Ibrahimovic as well.
There was Zlatan from Sweden. There was Andy Cole. There was John Terry. There was Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
these were big players. These were players that on their own day they can look any manager. And there is an interview that I watched recently. He said when Andres Villas-Boas came, he was trying to own the dressing room. So he told them, and I think it's preseason or something. And then he told the young boys to sit where the senior players used to sit, and then the senior players sit at the back. And he told the side, they were struggling to get their grip in the league. They were also, trying to see how big they can get when it comes to the Champions League as well. But at the end of the day, it was a bigger problem for him to handle, and then they had to sack him. And so the same team that Andres Villas-Boas was struggling with to even finish good enough in the Champions League or the Premier League when Roberto Di Matteo came in a caretaker capacity, Roberto Di Matteo won Chelsea's ever first Champions League.
Yeah.
And also, I think he had the FA Cup or something as the icing on the cake. Bring it forward to Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard came to Chelsea, and it was obvious that he says within that short period of time, and I was still saying this today, banters aside, Chelsea is the most successful English club in Europe in the last only one as well. Chelsea had won 2.
The last 15 years.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
2012.
Yeah.
Yes. Put it there.
Last 15 years.
So Chelsea have won 2 Champions League. They won the Europa League. They won the Club World Competition. They've won the UEFA Super Cup. They've also come back to win the Conference League. They've also won the Conference League, so becoming the only club to hold the 3 competition that UEFA Champions League UEFA has at the moment. So you knew that the player power was solid. When Lampard came, Lampard was struggling, and then the same team that Lampard said was not ready to come. Roberto Lewandowski is the greatest Polish player of all time, and he has won the Polish Player of the Year about 6 or 7 times.
Champions League.
There was a time he won like the Player of the Year for like 6 straight years as the Polish Player of the Year.
Yeah.
If you talk about Poland, the first players that comes to your mind
is Lewandowski.
Is Lewandowski.
Exactly. And
maybe
if
at some point you can remember maybe Fabianski or whatever. The first thing that comes to your mind from Dortmund to Bayern to Barcelona is Lewandowski.
And if Poland has even qualified for the World Cup, I think Robert Lewandowski will be an important cog in that wheel.
No,
if they have to qualify, the Polish FA now came in because they know that without Robert Lewandowski, our chance of getting to the World Cup is going to be less.
It's like 30%.
Yes. So
I
feel it's not just even about Robert Lewandowski ensuring or making sure that Michael Probias had to resign.
It's about the player power.
Yeah.
So this is it again. If Lewandowski stays away from the national team, it's not like there are no players that can score goals, but there's no Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Fact. There's no Lewandowski. That's the fact. Well, see, I'm sure a lot of people will be wondering, okay, no player can be bigger than the country. In a country where there are arrays of stars, you can come up with that. Oh, Victor Boniface said he wants to hang his boot. He should do whatever he chooses
that's
to
Nigeria.
do.
Poland is different.
But that's Nigeria because we have 10 luxury of talent and space for him for the UEFA Champions League, for the Ballon d'Or, that space. So from someone that had won the best striker award in an era where there was Messi and Ronaldo, you have to put him in that league of the elites.
Yeah, but it's just a consolation.
He says that he's not going to play for the Polish team until the manager leaves, or except the manager leaves. The Polish FA has only one choice. You have to choose between the manager
or the World Cup,
or choose the team.
World Cup dream.
You know a way, then it can work anybody else out of the team.
I agree with you.
So it's a choice between the devil and the deep blue sea from the FA. Fine. You don't want to have a player that is so all important to look at the fact that this is not a time where you do try and error.
Yeah.
Poland stand the risk of not going to the World Cup. But they can still, okay, you know what? Let's prove to the manager the one that was wrong. Or Lewandowski eventually does what maybe does unthinkable, and then get the number of goals that Poland needs to qualify for the World Cup.
But no player is also bigger than the club.
No, I'm just saying the club is an area of stars.
Yeah.
You have the money to choose everybody. You can have 11 World Footballer of the Year starting for you. You have the money to do that. But the national team, it's a privilege. The national team is the greatest thing that can happen to you as an athlete to represent your country. Whether as a basketballer, as a swimmer, as a boxer, as a footballer. So the national team is a difference, but not to like Victor Boniface.
All right, guys. Trent Alexander-Arnold has officially been unveiled by Real Madrid and is set to don the number 12 jersey.
Did you dirty?
And you know the funniest thing, Okwemi, you know the funniest thing? He spoke Spanish.
More than Alvaro Morata.
He spoke Spanish.
More than Alvaro Morata.
So I was on X today, and I think just a few minutes to the show, and I just got the sound bite.
I've seen this morning. I didn't know you have no. I will have mentioned.
I just saw it, and I was like, no. We have to play this so that our listeners would also be aware of what's currently going to happen. But let's also develop that very quickly as well. Napoli, his deal was meant to expire on the 30th of June, but due to the fact that Manchester officially also announced the signing of ḻɪsᴛ.
Is it like for like?
No, like for like. But an attacker for an attacker.
So I think Galatasaray their entire life. Do they have the money to pay the release clause of Napoli? Certainly yes.
You do.
The biggest club in Turkey alongside Fenerbahce. They can afford to do whatever. I'm sure if the fans had to contribute 1 euro,
they will,
or 10 euros, or they will certainly contribute. But the question is this: does the player that got so big in just a year on loan, does he still want to stay in that club? That's the fact. I'm sure how Victor Osimhen conquered Turkey within 9 months would actually be a surprise to him. No disrespect to the Turkish league, but for a player that came in on loan with all of the drama that surrounded his arrival,
after 4 weeks,
are telling him to train with the under 21s. So he had a lot in his head, and then he came into the Turkish league, and for 4 weeks, he ground running, becoming the highest goal scorer in the Turkish league. Also delivering the Turkish Cup and the Turkish League to Galatasaray, and then he became so worshipped that the club Galatasaray sent letter to all those influencers that went to Turkey. It was not even Victor Osimhen that invited them. It was Galatasaray that sent a letter to cover Galatasaray's last training before their last match. They allowed the journalists from Nigeria to be at the training ground, and then they covered everything. So it shows that they were celebrating the trophy outside of the stadium
with the black mask.
Unveiled his face mask in a diamond stud with drone. They've shown that they want him. Every post about Victor Osimhen on X, there are Turkish fans begging him to come, telling him to come. Even from English and pidgin language X and do. And they got millions of followers within
less than us. Even us.
Yeah, exactly. So they understand how big for marketing potentials. I mean, you signed as at that time. He was still the African Footballer of the Year before they want to look more collected from him. So you literally signed maybe the top 10 hottest player in world football, and then he's brought to glory straight up, qualified him for the Champions League again. So it's
because I think he needs to move.
I mean, you feel like I've conquered this league. There's almost no competition, no disrespect to every other player in there. So I don't think ḻɪsᴜn is a player-for-player replacement for Victor Osimhen. With Galatasaray qualifying for the Champions League and the new format of the Champions League as well, you don't know how far you can go. That's the fact. You don't know how far you can go. I mean, Victor Osimhen is probably he's still putting his head together and saying, you know what, I want to come to England. I'm not sure if any Spanish team wants to pick him up. I don't think so. If he's not going to Atletico Madrid,
maybe Barcelona.
No, Barcelona will not sign Victor Osimhen right now.
Well, probably because they want
the coach. The first name that should be on the team list anywhere Victor Osimhen goes to has to be Victor Osimhen.
So I have a spoiler. Victor Osimhen will definitely bench Lewandowski if he goes to Barcelona.
Well, facts.
Yeah, it will.
He's not far from the truth. You know why? Because he's young, he's energetic. He comes in a team that
at least he was 16 last year.
There's Pedri, there's Rodri. So Osimhen will slot in effortlessly, just the way Ancelotti slotted in at Liverpool. So it's going to be very easy for Osimhen, but because of the pedigree of Lewandowski. How do you tell Lewandowski that it's not going to be starting?
But then you need to face out the old guard with the new guard.
You can't. Lewandowski will tell you that it's not the old guard.
He is.
You see the highest goal scorer for the Spanish
at 34.
34 and banging in goals.
Wow.
Ronaldo is 40.
Wow.
He scored in the quarterfinal, semi-final, final of the UEFA Nations League.
But he was outshining when it comes to the highest goal scorer award in Spain. The Spanish La Liga.
He got into double figure. In fact, he scored almost 40 goals in all competition for Barcelona last season. Yes, check it. Almost 40 goals for a 31-year-old, 34.
But you have to include penalty goals.
What won the 2006 World Cup for Italy? Was it not penalty? What do you guys mean by penalty goals?
Penalty goals.
Well, I don't understand. So penalties are not part of it or what? Italy won
there's penalty goals and non-penalty goals.
There's nothing like
there is.
See, it's when people want to do agenda.
Nah.
That's why you're not saying penalty.
Penalty goals, non-penalty goals.
Ronaldo. Whatever it is you want to call. If I win a penalty during regular time, it is because a player infringed on my possibility of scoring the goal.
Yeah.
Right? And I scored the goal. I don't care. People lose penalties. David Trezeguet cost France 2006 World Cup. He lost the penalty.
Yeah. That's
if
true.
he had scored that penalty, probably France would have won the World Cup. And then they scored the entire 5 and they won the World Cup.
True.
Have we not seen where Champions League finals have been decided via penalties? So what do you guys mean by penalty?
Okay.
Even the greatest players have lost penalties.
Yeah, true.
So which one is penalty?
Messi has lost
is there
penalties.
Any player that can score penalties?
Ronaldo has lost penalties.
Is there Alvaro Morata has lost more penalties than he has scored?
Yeah. And he's the captain of the Spanish national team.
So what exactly is the point? If Osimhen goes to Spain, he has to be there of the top 3. If it's not Atletico Madrid, he obviously suits in well into Diego Simeone's team. He's a fighter. He's a very hungry player, very athletic. So Diego Simeone would love him. If it's not Atletico Madrid, if it's not Real Madrid, and it's obvious that Real Madrid are not looking towards his direction. I'm not even sure they want any striker right now.
At the moment.
And Barcelona seems comfortable with what they have.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't win the league, but I mean, he was able to pull a record signing in the era of COVID.
2020. 70 million.
Era of COVID, 70 million pounds from Napoli. That's some big money. He got to Napoli 33 years after they won the league. He won it for them. He moved over to Turkey in the most dramatic way. And 5 years after, Fenerbahce
they won the Turkish Cup.
And then they won the league.
Yeah.
So you probably feel like, what's the next line of action? Germany, it had to be Bayern. And Bayern obviously are not even talking about Victor Osimhen. You can't go to Borussia Dortmund. That is downgrading. It's fact.
Yeah.
So your options are limited to where either Spain or England. No Spanish team seems to be getting involved in transfer right now. So you want to come to arguably the biggest league in the world, where the entire Nigeria will get to see you every weekend, every week during the week. And you certainly also know that, see, I cannot leave Champions League in Turkey and play in the Europa League or Conference League in England. So I'm just trying to stream down his options. So you have to look at the Champions League teams in England. Newcastle already have Isak. I'm not sure they want to bring in they want to bring in Victor Osimhen. It's not like they cannot afford Victor Osimhen's money, but I'm not sure they want to distort that option, except maybe 1 or 2 players leave at that Newcastle side. But let's also look at Liverpool. Liverpool already have, signings completed. Well, they can still bring in Victor
they can still bring in.
But they've already said no European competition. I'm not sure Victor Osimhen wants to leave a competitive nature of the Turkish league
and come to number 9.
Jersey. So it's obvious that it's the only one they want.
Yeah.
For Manchester City, they already gave a 9 and a higher deal
to Haaland, so it's impossible.
Haaland automatically starts.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be the points man. So Victor Osimhen would. So which option does he have left?
Maybe to come to Enugu Rangers.
You didn't mention Arsenal. That's it. I've been talking.
Had to pay Sporting just under 60 million euros for Victor Gyökeres, and they've in fact sent in their first bid. That's Arsenal. So it could be different.
So this is it. Gyökeres already informed Sporting he doesn't want to play for them.
And even the chairman has labeled him as a traitor.
He's a traitor. Because he said there was a gentleman agreement of 57 million euros that they will allow him leave if anybody comes for that. But the funny part is this. Anything that is not written, there's nothing like gentleman agreement.
Nah, exactly.
If it's not written,
it's not put down. That's why if you want to sign a contract, it has to be signed.
There's nothing like verbal
agreement. There's no
agreement.
verbal agreement.
There's nothing like that. The verbal agreement that Arsenal has agreed with will be made since January.
Yeah, it has changed.
is coming with concrete agreement. So there's nothing like that. If Gyökeres feels like he's worth it, fine. 54 goals, I mean, solid guy.
In a season.
But Arsenal seems to be more interested in the Benjamin Sesko.
Yeah.
But,
for Leipzig.
Excuse me, why not? Why don't you get
it's
both
possible,
of them?
but I think Benjamin Sesko has more or less declined over the years, over the last 1 or 2 years.
How often have you seen that you say
no, obviously Benjamin Sesko right from Austria, RB Salzburg rather, and he did his thing in Salzburg. He came over to Leipzig. I think for the first 2 years
he was also club.
Obviously Red Bull Association, but. Yes, but as a striker, you are born to score goals, not give assists. You're not attacking midfielder.
But so let me tell you, may I always bring up exceptions to some of the rules you bring up.
Okay.
France.
But it wasn't a point, man.
Wait now. Giroud did not get a goal.
Okay.
He did not. Giroud was the starting number 9 for France.
But it was just like a decoy. He was a decoy for Mbappe.
Giroud decoy.
He was like leverage.
Records go scorer of France.
But he was a decoy. Everyone knew that Kylian Mbappe was obviously the star man.
What's the decoy? So
it was more or less like a small screen.
An unproven 16 or 17-year-old will be a decoy to Olivier Giroud.
When you give players the opportunity to prove themselves. When you give players the opportunity to prove themselves, they will obviously perform.
Olivier Giroud did not get an assist.
Okay, Olivier Giroud just broke the record just like last year of highest goal scorer for the French national team.
But as
that 2018, he was staying with the.
A certain Olivier Giroud, as of 2018, has already proven himself at the biggest stage at the World Cup.
No, he had not played at the World Cup. He played at Arsenal.
He has played at Arsenal,
Chelsea.
Then he was at AC Milan.
AC Milan.
So he has won the Champions League at Chelsea.
Okay.
He has won the Premier League at Chelsea.
He didn't win the Champions League at Chelsea.
He
wasn't. He wasn't part of that team. Oh yeah, he was. He was with what's his name? Tony. No. What's his name now? I'm trying to remember his name now. That's Werner, the current.
this man. Yeah, see. Okay, we have to review.
No, I'm trying to
review the timetable of this thing.
I'm trying to think of.
He told me that 2010 and Yakubu was not this thing. So I think let's get it straight. The fact that Gyökeres has all of those going for him does not exactly mean he clicks into whatever it is that Arteta is got going on at Arsenal. If you say Benjamin Sesko had declined, I don't think declining is the right word. Players evolve over time. You know, they bring in different left. Let me also try my header. Let me also start some of these things. So these things always happen as players continue to evolve. That's why you see some players that were more potent up front when they were younger. They are now more relaxed as they grow older. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo, for instance. Ronaldo was a constant banger, hitting it hard from the wings. But the older he grew, he understood that the pace he does not have
than he was
before he was 30. So you have to look at all of those and put it in context. For Gyökeres, because of the 54 goals he scored, it's easy for people to get swayed by the fact that he's going to come to English football and click right away. Even Benjamin Sesko, you know why? Victor Osimhen had proven himself in Belgium. He's proven himself in France. He's proven himself in Italy. He's proven himself in Turkey. So you can confidently say that he probably does not need time to settle in.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand? But even you don't count. I'm sure even him cannot remember the number of jersey he didn't impress at all. So you look at Osimhen, all of the places he had played, he didn't need time to settle in. Osimhen a fighter. You cannot grow up in Olusosun, sell pure water inside traffic, grow up in the slums of Lagos, and you think you need time to settle. There's no time. You're coming in like this. You're hitting the ground running because maybe in your contract you already have to activate maybe €5 million. If you score 20 goals in a season, you're already calculating that one will set you influencer. Like Arteta is spent. I feel like Arteta has got into his ceiling at Arsenal, and I'll continue to say this, and I'll still pray to be proven wrong. That a manager will come and do almost nothing. Maybe just have the mind to buy a striker, and then he'll win the big trophy at Arsenal.
Well, all right, let's also leave all of that very quickly. I'll talk about the NBA very, very quickly. Yes, I'm talking about the NBA. Aḻɪ BP has now praised a team effort from Indiana Pacers just over 25 years. The Pacers won right there in Indiana. Aḻɪ BP scored 22 points and made 11 assists as well as 9 rebounds as the Pacers overturned a 5-point deficit going into the fourth quarter in Game 3 of the best of 7 series. And the Pacers also, the Pacers bench outscored the Thunder by 49-18 with reserve Benedict Martin contributing 27 points at Gainbridge Fieldhouse right there in Indianapolis. All right, guys, let's also leave all of that very quickly and quickly go for a musical break. When we come back, we'll dive straight into more transfer stories, and then don't forget as well that for Trent Alexander-Arnold has been unveiled as a new right back for Real Madrid. We'll talk about where Trent Alexander-Arnold will be fitting in the Real Madrid side ahead of the Club World Cup. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I am Tᴏᴜᴛᴜ the chairman for the Nigerian Rugby League Association.
Aḍɪɪryɪṛ the joint captain of Nigerian National Rugby League player.
My name is Rachel Ilya. I'm a loose forward for the Nigerian Rugby League.
Hi guys, my name is Ian. I'm a player for the National Rugby League.
Hi, my name is Chika from the Nigerian Rugby League.
You're listening to Sport Cruise on 98.3 FM. Don't touch that down.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch, and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
The memory of that night, that one magic moment will stay with the fans forever, no matter what happens.
One of those incredible European nights for Liverpool. It's what they're famous for.
One piece of individual brilliance turned the game.
It comes from a fullback.
The game was on a knife edge. 3-3.
Two titans of European football going backwards and forwards at it.
A career-defining moment of individual awareness that changed the game.
Dudek, he's out of position. Andrei Shevchenko, certain to score.
But who sees the danger? Who saw it? Yeah, Jimmy Traore.
Wow. Sorry, what? Jimmy Traore? Why would we... This is for Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Who?
Never heard of him, mate.
Alexander sounds a bit posh for me. Is he maybe some sort of Tory?
No. Conor Bradley?
Grow up.
Mate, Yosemite, 2005, Champions League.
Hello, my name is Cʀᴜɪnᴛ and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
Baba God, now your hand working. Don't be lying. Now your hand working. I say it no easy. To the sing and the dance and the people they rejoice. My brother, my sister, love it today. If you could do a party, make with the tango. Baba God, now your hand working. Don't be lying. I say no be lying. No be everybody. Why sleep for night to wake up, see the light here. See the future is bright here. I need to enter for eye. Make you do your best here. Baba God go handle the rest here. Even if you no get money, they jolly they shake body.
You know easy, oh, Fortress Alexander-Arnold. Welcome, Trent Alexander-Arnold, saying that they've never heard of Trent Alexander-Arnold. And when the question was asked of who, but yes, Trent Alexander-Arnold has officially been unveiled. Earlier on today by Real Madrid, and at his official statement, he spoke Spanish, thereby also surprising a lot of fans due to the fact that right back is going to be playing at midfield. He's going to be playing maybe somewhere gadgets. Can also listen to us via Facebook or on YouTube. We are currently live on our social media platforms. I just search for us there, 98.3 FM. You find us there, and also via Radio Garden. Just also search for us at 98.3 FM. You would find us there. You're welcome back to the show. Okwemi, where exactly do you think Trent Alexander-Arnold will be fit?
I saw an article this morning from Adam Flinch or Adam something
Adam
like
Lynch?
that. I think so. One BBC
Adam Lynch.
Like that, you know. And then it was talking about the fact that he knew Rodrigo was saying that he's staying at Madrid to fight for his place under a new manager.
Yeah.
So there's also a new manager. And then the bounce is good enough for them. And the fact that the new manager bounce will not be tested in excuse me. So I think it's going to be a big one for Madrid. They go into that as the favorites. You can't take anything away from Madrid, irrespective of how bad, in quotes, last season was, because they didn't win anything.
Yeah.
And they went into last season as the defending champion of the Champions League and the Spanish League. And at the end of the day, they lost the good legs to an Arsenal side that just had a good game. Barcelona to PSG is distasteful, to say the least. So I think it was just a bad patch. And then you can also understand how they've been running their stuff, because first off, they had a certain Kylian Mbappe, and I've always been of the opinion that if a team is not broken, don't try to fix it. That's the fact. If the team is not broken, don't try to fix it. So at the end of the day, it's going to be difficult for everyone to expect that because it's Barcelona, or because it's Real Madrid, they could find a way to balance things and all of that. They won the Champions League. They won the Spanish League, and then you feel like, they're good enough.
Yeah.
Nobody should bother to. Yeah, that was good enough. Had won the World Cup 4 years after, made it to the final of the World Cup again. Scored a hat-trick on the final of the World Cup.
The World Cup, yeah.
I think he scored 9 goals in that competition actually, and I think he scored 9 goals in that competition. The Blues, the national team of France.
Yeah.
It was obviously bigger than the French league. I mean, he had played at the top two biggest, arguably the biggest clubs in modern era of the loan move for 180 million euros to PSG. And PSG could have signed him outright, but because they already activated the 222 million euros signing of Neymar from Barcelona, so they collected Kylian Mbappe on loan.
On loan, yeah.
But with an order, not even an option, won everything. Won the French Player of the Season 4 times, highest goal scorer, dominated the PSG, won this French League 3 times, won the Coupe de France. He's won everything. So at that moment, whether I would like it or not, Kylian Mbappe was born to play for Madrid. I remember there was time I was going to Ronaldo, to Lima, to Cristiano Ronaldo, to Gutierrez, to Beckham, to Carlos. Every great player that I played for Madrid had their pictures all over Kylian Mbappe. So you had the feeling that
over 80,000 fans welcomed him.
Exactly. So he came into action in the rhythm of the team because you have to play Kylian Mbappe. You don't have a choice.
You have to.
You have to play Vinicius Junior.
Very
you
important.
Don't have a choice.
You have to play Rodrigo.
You don't have a choice. There was going to be that transition and it could be tough. Do you understand? They struggled at some point this season, even in the Champions League. I mean, one would not expect that Madrid will have to wait at that point before they could get into the next stage of the Champions League, right? And then there was a unique way of the Champions League this season. So everybody had to struggle to adapt. So I think a lot of people could make that mistake, that excuse for Madrid this just concluded season. But for next season, you have a feeling that Madrid is going to hit the ground running fast. Yeah. I don't know if they still want to bring in players. They brought in Tᴏᴜ Alexander already. So you look at this Madrid side. In what would this new Madrid phase want to go into, the major tournament with? I mean, Carlo Ancelotti was not new to the space. I mean, he's won the Champions League before, came back, still did the best he could and all of that. But there's a certain Xabi Alonso that, first off, his legendary status of the club is also on the line.
Yeah.
He's coming in from Aď Libašić.
He doesn't impress.
He's also Spanish, right? So there's a
club legend.
Absolutely, there's a lot at stake with the arrival of Xabi Alonso in that side, and the pressure of coaching the biggest club in the world.
It's big and massive.
Everything you do will be scrutinized. Solid in other clubs is average for Madrid.
I agree with you.
There are games that Madrid will win 3-0, and they'll tell you that was a bad game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There are games they would win 1-0 and they'll be like it was a hard-fought victory. So the standard at Madrid is different. The standard and the expectations at Madrid is different.
The biggest club in the world.
Absolutely. Every single player that wears that jersey, every single player that walks out at that iconic
Santiago Bernabéu Stadium.
You know that this is... Do you know what Madrid used to do when they sign new players? Before they unveil you, they walk around the trophy room.
Yeah. They'll show you.
So that you know that there's no play here. You first see 15 Champions League.
Talking about the trophy room, I was on X as well earlier today when Florentino Perez was showing Tᴏᴜ Alexander-Arnold, the World Trophy Hall of Real Madrid, and someone said, imagine Tᴏᴜ Alexander-Arnold smiling at a Champions League trophy that Liverpool lost because of him.
Yes, nah.
And he was smiling.
Yes, nah. Do you understand? So they will take you through the trophy room. The trophy room at Madrid is like 300 meters.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Very wide.
Everything is glittering.
The biggest.
It's all in glass.
The biggest.
So you see 15 Champions League. You see
36 La Liga titles.
100 trophy posters of the legends that you worshipped even before they gave back to you.
Yeah.
So you know that coming out on that pitch, you have to put your life on the line to justify the reason why Madrid signed you. There's no touch and go. Imagine having to pay £10 million for Liverpool. They couldn't wait for a month to complete because they needed him at the CWC. So I'm waiting for Xabi Alonso that he can function properly as a midfielder. Right?
Yeah.
With his assist, he's finishing, he has positional play, he scores goals. Look at the goal against Brighton last season.
Yeah.
That was a significant goal. They needed that 3 points to, eventually cement their league title ahead of Arsenal. Any late mistake from Arsenal, whatever. So he's had his moment. Quick decision. As a fullback, do you come to play corners? If he was not flexible enough, that moment against Barcelona, that
corner taken quickly,
that corner, that goal. So you look at the glossy moment of Trent at Liverpool, and then maybe that could help Xabi Alonso. And Alonso is lucky. He played for both clubs.
Yeah.
That's Liverpool
and Real Madrid.
So he could study the mindset of Trent Alexander-Arnold 20 years at Liverpool and help him through the transition of playing at a club that is like 1,000 times bigger
because for Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think he obviously did the same thing Xabi Alonso also did as well. He moved from Liverpool to Real Madrid.
No, and that's what I'm saying, that Alonso can help him, go through that transition.
Settling in.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, he does not. See, at Madrid, you don't have the luxury of time to
settle down.
Nobody send your papa. You cannot be collecting that money. You do know the crazy part? They did not even allow Alessandro to
bring his Range Rover.
Because the moment you are signed for Madrid, Moto Day,
it did for you already.
It's part of your deal. Every year, every new model of that particular brand that comes out, they will take away the old model
and give you the new
model. My God. So it's luxury or nothing.
Player luxury.
So you need to know that to enjoy all of those luxury. Bro, have you seen Madrid playing?
Yeah.
Have you seen their plane when they go for games?
When they travel? They'll be traveling. I think tomorrow.
They live luxury on air. They fly an Airbus.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand?
Exactly.
Double-decker plane.
Private.
All of those comes with playing for Madrid. So Trent would function as a defender. As a midfielder? If Alonso wants him to play as a midfielder. He will. But again, this trial and error thing does exactly work at Madrid. I wish we had the time. Maybe tomorrow. We go through those areas where players have been, brought. You know that Tchouaméni was not originally a midfielder.
He wasn't.
He was a defender in the French league.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Before he was even converted to defensive midfielder now.
Those transitions don't always work. Especially for a player that have been at the top level for like 8 years. See, forget that banter, whatever. Alexander-Arnold.
Conor Bradley is.
Conor who? Wait a minute. Conor what?
Conor Bradley. Or maybe Jeremy Frimpong. Or maybe Ben White. There's also Julian Timber.
What are you doing?
Or Malo Gusto. Okay, I'll say this. Okay, the last 5 years, fan engagements around 36,000 phones. Six PR has been doing for Osimhen in the last few days is amazing. It is only a matter of time before he gets a special invitation. It's only a matter of time before he gets a special invitation from Galatasaray to join the list of recognized Osimhen's friends that you are invited to come out the team's training. The also is dream, bro.
Wait first. Is he secret?
Okay, still on Facebook, Lensin Adedolapo says there's absolutely no word Victor Osimhen benches Lewandowski, please.
Exactly.
Absolutely no word. Go and check their start last season, please. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Adeniji Udeme Said also says, good evening, guys. Happy Democracy Day to us all. Please, I have a conversation with my friend that that Cucurella is
surprised. You here just mentioned Malo Gusto.
No.
You just mentioned Conor Bradley.
I mentioned Rich James.
You just who is Rich James? Rich James has spent the better part of the last 15 months on the treatment
sideline.
What do you mean by Rich James?
Okay, what's up? This person says, good evening, guys, and well done for the loads of messages you have shared here. Please, what is the situation with Victor Osimhen with all the transfer news that has been flying? I trust in your information and it shall settle my mind, but sincerely, I don't want him to play for that Agbero Chelsea team. Great evening. Okay, my colleague Fidelis from Sᴘᴏ. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, we also have another message on WhatsApp. This person says, good evening, everyone in the studio. My name is Mike. Thursday from Agbole, but I agree with Mr. Tommy. At Real Madrid, you regret their decision after buying Alonso and Trent, plus Vinicius is staying. So they will be imbalanced in the attack, and I don't think Alonso has the ability to balance this. At 410, you can also send the WhatsApp message as well to us via 36,000.
You cannot mention with James. You know, has bad mind for Chelsea. Look, with James, even not for the injury, he can stand head to head.
God bless you.
God
bless you. God bless you. God bless you for that. God bless you. God bless you.
I know for one thing. Every concern Chelsea like this, come on, everybody more. We know it for that. So let me that for now.
Thank you so much.
We stand. But to me, Real Madrid, the club, apart from Chelsea, the next club I support is Madrid.
Please,
but the termination, I don't know the kind of rejection that given to them. Now you told me that you are world of everything. Maybe that they can see. Look when Coutinho played for Chelsea.
Thank you so much.
And Rudiger.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is confident.
You're welcome, Mr. Confident. Please wrap your thoughts quickly.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please, I want to know, like, concerning that Madrid this thing. those representatives that Los Blancos sent to go and meet Zubimendi. I want to know concerning that Zubimendi. I called yesterday. It was my girlfriend that said that she will ask about Arsenal transfer.
We'll have all of those tomorrow.
Don't worry, we have all of those tomorrow. We have all of those tomorrow.
Going forward, I will dedicate some good number of time on Fridays to discuss entirely transfer stories on Fridays. So we'll have a good time for that.
Let's get to pick some more calls. How are you in the studio? Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Welcome.
For me, those players, they used to lie too much because when a big club can't sign them like this, they will start saying that it is my dream to play for this. I'm hearing that Marcus Christ is talking that his dream is to play for Man United. It is the same guy that wanted to go to Arsenal last
Thank you so much.
For Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think if Cavaja is here, he's
Sido, good evening. Welcome to the show very quickly. Hello? Oh, we missed that one. Please try to call us back. 036,410, 036,410. Let's see if you can pick one more call before we also leave the studio. Okay, I have a message here on WhatsApp. This person says, good evening, everyone. Okay, good evening, everyone. I think the only right back that can compete with Trent Alexander-Arnold is Kyle Walker, not Rich James. So you have to be at least available first. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show. Oh, we missed that one. I think the network is also trying as much as possible to ensure we don't pick your calls. But thank you so much, guys. It's been a wonderful time in the studio. Big shout out to you for always doing this. By tomorrow, we'll take our time to talk about transfer stories. Matheus Cunha has officially been confirmed by Manchester United. And what next? Where would he be fitting in? I mean,
you see signing in big players.
ᴑɪᴜᴜ it's Rio Jao, everything. Have a wonderful. Please come to me. Come on, give us your full. What's that your full?
What do your face?
Oh yeah, I'm fine doing my face. What's that your full? Rio.
Just Rio Ja.
No. It's not that one I want.
No, don't worry.
No, it's that one. Go.
I forgot it.
All right, guys, please stick around. Up next is Way Back Waves. It's Rio Ja. Have a wonderful Thursday night. And on behalf of the guys, until next time, my name is Aď Tᴏᴜᴛ.
Hello, my name is Cʀᴜɪnᴛ and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen.